Hello and welcome to Maximus Gaming. Today we are going to be playing the free roam version of Factorio. I posted the first campaign video just earlier today, but we're going to take a look at the open world kind of side of this game, which I've played a little bit already and I've been enjoying quite a lot. One big difference you'll see right off the bat is that we start with a furnace and mining drill, which I'm going to go ahead and put straight on the coal. With a box there to collect the coal, and then get on mining our, gotta put some coal in there, and then get on mining our iron right away. It's actually, we got a pretty good map spawn here with the iron and coal this close together, although it looks like the closest copper is kind of way up here. Well, we got a small patch over here we can use until we need to expand our mining operations. Overall, this map's looking pretty great. I don't see any enemy bases. They usually appear as red blocks, but it seems that they can kind of just move in whenever they want, so I'm sure that won't be too much of a problem. Plus, I like playing on the pollution-heavy side, making a lot of automated factories, which draws them in. From what I understand, the bigger your pollution cloud gets, which you can kind of see on the map, not now, but as we get further in, the more enemies you will start to draw in. Yeah, so the beginning of this game's a little slow. You just basically want to start with making as many of these furnaces and drillers as you can, and then getting the automation up. If you've watched my first video for the campaign, you'll see that that's not that much work, but it does take time. Oh, we need some more. Oh, we need rock. I am completely... Do we have any rock nearby? Okay, up here. I'm gonna go grab that right now. It's not too far away from the base, which is nice. As I was saying, it does take a little bit of time right off the bat here, but it's kind of relaxing, especially because we don't have any enemies too close that we have to worry about. The game starts you off with a pistol and the 10 magazines, as you can see, just kind of in the bottom right-hand corner here. But you go through those pretty quickly, so we'll want to keep an eye on that. So right off the bat, we're going to make one more mining drill and furnace, and then put the drill over here on the iron. Do we have any wood? No, we don't. Let's go punch some trees and put a box in front of our iron operations there. Oh, needs coal. Great. Now we should start getting a semi-steady supply of resources here. And we are well on our way to creating the largest factory known to man. Now, I find it interesting that this planet is so similar to Earth, even though they've kind of gone for an alien planet kind of vibe. At least I assume they have, because the creatures that you face are most definitely not from Earth. But that said, I haven't gotten that far in, so I don't really know if there's any human enemies later on or anything like that, or if you can get more people to come work for you. We'll have to see. So if I just want to take a peek at the texture right here, this can look extremely confusing at first. It's not that bad. Basically the green tech at the top there is what we can research once we get our science facilities kind of up and running. And then the stuff at the bottom there is in red is what we can't research yet, just because they have prerequisites that we have not met. I've noticed the game autosaves pretty often. That's pretty nice, especially when there are more enemies around. You can get flooded out of nowhere. With this playthrough, I think if we die, we'll just be restarting. But when you're playing casually, it's definitely nice to be able to just kind of figure out where they attacked you from and then put defenses there before they come again. Okay, we just want to split our iron up, take some of that coal. I think we're off to a pretty good start. It's kind of hard to tell this early, but I think we're doing pretty good. I'm just going to cut the video here and jump ahead a tiny bit so you guys don't have to watch me drudge through this beginning portion. I will be right back. Okay, so I am back. Basically all I did was build a couple more of these drills, as well as put 2 drills up here on the stone so we have a bit of a stone income. What we want to start doing now is automating our lineup here, so we don't have to keep running around and doing all of this ourselves. It gets a little tedious. So we're going to need iron plates for that, which we're making here. I think I'm going to make a couple more furnaces. Let's go with 5. Maybe a little more than we need, but that's okay. So we can get our coal plate production really booming. Ooh, wrong spot. Okay. Now that we have that set up, let's get on making a conveyor belt track. Let's go ahead and start with the coal side, as we will have to power everything else. I think is most important right off the bat. Once you kind of have the coal output automated, everything else becomes a little easier. So let's go like, oh, how do we want to do this? Let's focus on the actual drilling machines for now, I suppose, and get them nice and fueled up. We'll want to make some burner inserters, and well, it's in a bit of an awkward position, but we can work with it. Or not. I'll have to move this one. That's fine. As you'll see in a second, its placement there just doesn't really work with how the conveyor belt system works. It takes quite a lot of space to make a conveyor belt track, but it is completely worth it when you can just kind of sit back and not have to worry about production. So let's get that done, and I think with that it should be, the driller should be completely automated. As you'll see, the burner inserters there will start grabbing coal off the conveyor belt and putting them in. And then, so as you'll see in a minute here, the inserters, when they put items onto the track, they put it onto the opposite side that the inserter itself is on. I'm just going to move this furnace a bit. And then I think we're going to flip these around actually so we can do this. So if the burner inside or inserter, say, is on this side of the track here, it'll place it to the far left side. So you kind of have to keep that in mind when you are trying to automate how everything works. Now this actually isn't the greatest setup for late game, but for now it'll work. We just want to basically have high iron output, which we definitely have that. I mean, this is nothing compared to what it will be, but for now it's pretty decent. So we have the coal here, and then we have these 2 coal miners supplying all of our furnaces. That should actually be enough. The furnaces don't go through coal very quickly, and as you can see, neither do the drills. You kind of want to move towards electric power. Oh, that's not the right spot. Pretty early in the game. We're going to be taking it a little slow just so I can try and explain kind of what I'm doing. But, oh, we have a huge coal deposit over there too. That's awesome. But electric power is definitely something you want to think about because it is awesome. If you hold F, you can just pick up items by running over them like that. Makes it a little nice. You don't need to have boxes everywhere. But boxes are nice too. I think what we're going to do here is more plates. There we go. Make a bunch of track. I think I mentioned this in the tutorial video, but if you right-click on items in your inventory, you make them in sets of 5. Really speeds up how you can do things. We're gonna make this track super awkward. Let's go all the way around. Oh, you know what? I'm not gonna have. Nope, actually, this will work fine. You'll see what I was talking about in just a minute here. I'm not gonna have iron for that or coal for those though. Oh well, we'll do it by hand for now. We need to make more burner inserters. Grab those there. This is not the optimal setup, but it'll do for now until we kind of have our massive factory line going. Now, that copper's pretty far away. We don't really need it right away, but we need copper to start doing our research, which is fairly important. That said, I could kind of just go over and set up little copper mining deposits myself. I don't need it to be connected to the main system quite yet. Would be nice though. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is cancel this side of our coal intake and actually move it over to here. This, you'll see now how the two sides of the conveyor belt comes into effect, because the coal should all be sitting on the one side, which is really useful because it won't back up. See how the iron's already backed up all the way there? If the coal would on the same side of the conveyor belt, they would never actually get to the machines here that need it. I'll just need to grab a piece to kickstart this. And then we're going to make another track over here for the output. And then, oh, I don't have any coal going to that. Whatever, we'll figure it out as we go. Now these machines should automatically... Oh, facing the wrong way. They will automatically take the plates and put them on this track, at which point we will make another... Oh shoot, a little too long here. We'll make another inserter to put them into a chest, so it's easy for us to grab. Need more. Oh, made 37. We don't need quite that many. If you shift-click on an item, you just make as many as you can, which can be not really a problem, but a little annoying when you accidentally make 37 conveyor belts. Let's grab this coal. So far we're doing pretty good. I would definitely like to have copper kind of going by this point, but I mean, we'll work with what we have. Now that we have this kind of setup going, it's really easy to make a lot more drills. You just kind of grab the rocks, grab the plates, and craft them, and then I think we're going to go and actually start setting up the iron right now. Oh, we're going to want to take a lot of coal with us, as I don't see any coal up there on the map, which is a little too bad, but that's fine. I'm going to take all this coal. And away we go. How many can we make? Only 5. What am I missing here? Oh, we need more iron. Let's just run through there. We're going to make now 11. That's more like it. I think we'll need more of these inserters, and then 15 tracks. We'll make it work. Oh wow, this is far. Optimally, you definitely want to have your resources closer together, but the maps are randomly generated every time, so unless you're just going to sit and continuously restart, you don't really know what you're going to get until you're in the game, which is fun. It adds a bit of a mystery aspect, not mystery, but surprise aspect. It makes the game different every time you play. So with this, we're going to, I think, set it up like so we can have our miners on both sides of this machine, which, where do my miners go? Oh, down here. Which should increase output, since we're not going to be keeping an eye on these. Oh shoot, is that all the coal we have? We kind of just want to make it as easy as possible. And then I think I'm going to put... Where'd my coal go? Let's put half of it in there, and then a box there. And we'll just kind of come back to grab the coal to put it in the smelters, or the copper in a minute here. You don't need a ton of it right off the bat. Man, this trek is killer. This is really bad too for once the enemies start attacking us, because they will hone in on the closest source of pollution. So if our two kind of bases are this spread out, it can definitely spell trouble, which is not ideal. I think what we're going to do here is start building towards the factory that we want to have once this is all set up. So I'm going to go ahead and make this nice long track here. This is going to be the main track for the iron to flow out of. And then we kind of got to be a little creative here. We want to have burners all along here, and then the coal meeting in. So actually, with how that is now, that'll work out just fine. We can set that up like that. And then the iron, oops, should just flow on perfectly. I think we should have enough iron for now, actually, so let's just go ahead and make this. This takes a second. 9 mines. 3, 4. This is pretty decent production for early. Oh, I need to have this one over. This is pretty decent production for early game. We'll definitely have to step it up, though, for once we actually start doing researches. Creating the potions that you need for research takes quite a lot of materials, and there's a lot of steps involved. But I'm just going to quickly fix this mess that we've created here. I will be right back. Okay, so welcome back. I think we have a bit of a, well, a decent setup here, I'd like to think. We basically have our coal machines. Now, none of our coal diggers are actually being powered right now, which is a bit of a pain. We'll definitely have to figure that out. But once we have electricity, that won't be an issue at all. Need copper. Oh, we don't need any copper to make electricity. I think we're going to get on that right away, because that'll get rid of a bunch of our problems. But right now, basically, we have our coal feeding to our iron diggers, and then also the furnaces, as well as we have to have coal on this side here to power the arms, which is a bit of a pain. That's definitely something that won't be an issue once we have power. So I think we're going to go ahead and get on that. Let's see. We're going to want to make... So for electrical power, we need a whole bunch of boilers and steam engines, which I'm going to make right now. And then basically you pump water. Oh, I do need copper because I need to make an electric circuit. That doesn't take that much copper though, so we'll just run up and grab it. Basically you have to pump water out to your furnaces, which then or your boilers, which heat up the water for the steam engine. Oh, I need to grab the plates to create electricity. Oh, I didn't make plates yet. I just made the ore. That's fine. We'll go. Actually, yeah, we have to smelt some. We'll smelt some plates. Power is extremely useful in this game. Once you have power, you can switch over to the electric mining drill, which we'll need copper for as well. And then you do not need to pump coal into it constantly. This gets rid of... Oh, come on. One big issue of your factory belts. You can kind of just set it up. Oh my gosh. Come on, there we go. So that you can kind of just set them up so that the coal is only being pumped into the main assembly line, not into the actual drilling part itself. I think we are going to end the episode here, though. Next episode, we'll be working on that electric power as well as trying to get our... Oh, there's the copper there. I think we're going to start working with this copper instead. That's way closer. Next episode, we're going to start working on that electric power, though, and seeing if we can get our mining facility a little more efficient than it is currently. If you enjoyed the video, please leave me a like and leave any comments if you have any input on how I can make a bit of a more efficient plant, although that'll kind of come into fruition once we have the electric power. See you guys next time.